Hey, what's up, guys? This is Frank with Bodybuilding Bros. Training footage from Sunday, August 7th, my first day of my programming for my prep for Raw Nationals after doing the USAPL New Jersey State Championships a little over a week before this. So in between, last week, I took it kind of light with my training, but also wanted to get back into higher volume since uh, leading right up to the meet, it was kind of higher intensity, lower volume, and then the last week of the prep was just a taper kind of deload thing. So I wanted to make sure my body was ready for this volume. So I did take it easy, but I also went with like 3x10s with around 65%. So my first day is a push day here. Right now I'm training 4 days per week. So I hit a push and a pull, and then a lower and an upper day. And this is my first one, which is push day. So I'm hitting squats and kind of quad dominant focused leg day, and then upper push. So I'm squatting and benching, and then shoulders, triceps. So right here, squats. Felt really good this day. Decided to go beltless. This is 75% of my max, which I have at 415 pounds right now. I hit 419 at the meet, so just using a training max slightly under what I hit there. So this is 315 for 4x6. I filmed 3 of my sets here, and everything was feeling really good this day. Like I said, decided to go beltless. I usually do with less than 80%. 80% is where I usually will throw a belt on. But this is just my first day here. Wanted to give you guys an overview of what my training looks like, at least for this first week. So for my programming for nationals, starting for the first 2 weeks, it's kind of like an abbreviated volume phase or hypertrophy phase where I'm going to be doing higher reps and also a lot of reps on my accessory work. Kind of have to cut it short since there are only 10 weeks until nationals, because we want to make sure that I have enough time to get acclimated again to the higher intensity and ready to hit 1 rep maxes on the meet day. So this was my final set of squats here. Thought about putting a belt on before this one because my back was starting to get a little bit fatigued, but decided to just keep it beltless. And this is from directly at knee height, which gives you a good idea of where my depth is. Squats have been feeling really good lately. Not really changing too much. Sometimes I do get a little bit off balance at the top of my reps, so really just trying to keep my weight balanced, not leaning too far forward or too far backwards. But for the most part, they do feel really good. So this was the final set of 4x6 with 75%. And then I moved on right after this to doing some bench press, same percent and rep scheme. So 75% for another 4x6 here. Sorry for the angle here, but I wanted to take a look at my grip width. At the meet, I was gripping just a little bit wider where my pinkies were on the rings that you can see there. I tried doing that for like the 3 weeks leading up to the meet because I thought I might get a little bit more weight or a little bit more strength that way. But I ended up not doing too well at the meet with what I hit. I only hit 286 and then ended up missing 298 when I've hit 295 pretty easily a couple times in the gym. So decided to go back. I think I do feel a little bit more, a little bit stronger with a slightly closer grip where I actually tuck my elbows a little bit more. So moving back to this for this prep. Also going beltless on the bench. I do usually put my belt on with bench. Have not been using wrist wraps lately. I find that they just kind of distract me and they don't really help me too much, and then they just end up being too much of a distraction, and they're kind of painful on my wrist sometimes. So been feeling really good without the wrist wraps recently. So this is 225 here. For my training max for bench, I'm sticking with 295. even though I only hit around 286 at the meet, just because I know I have 295 in me, and I'd rather be a little bit more aggressive with this one here. So another 4x6. I think this is my last set though. I'm pretty sure I only filmed 3 of them. Been pausing all of my bench work. Haven't really been doing too many variations just because there's not really a lot of time. Once Raw Nationals is over and I have a long off season, that's when I'll really start getting into some variations, probably to work on some weak points. So just showing you guys the accessory work that I do. This is dumbbell lunges, doing much higher volume accessory work at this point, so 3 sets for pretty much everything of anywhere from 8 to 12, sometimes 15 reps depending on the movement. But these are dumbbell lunges here. These are awful. They're so painful, but really want to get a movement that focuses on both knee and hip flexion, and then the lunges I think are a little bit more quad dominant. So that's the reason why I'm doing those on this push day where I'm also squatting. So just filmed 1 set of all my accessories for today. So next is overhead press, also going, I think I was going for around 3x10 here with these. This is just 105 pounds. Not really too much more to say about this. I guess what I can say is that as I get closer to the meet, that's when I'm going to start to taper off the volume. But for these next couple weeks at least, just going to keep everything as high as possible while not being at the gym for a ridiculous amount of time. So around 3 sets for everything is what I like to do during these phases. Next are just some rope press downs. Also around 3x10 I think I was shooting for here. I just do these kneeling because the cable tower isn't high enough for me to get the amount of elbow flexion that I want to get at the top to give myself a larger range of motion. And then, let's see, the last thing are face pulls. And I know these are really kind of like a pull movement, but it's just somewhere for me to throw these in. So this little cable attachment is really cool. They're kind of like 2 independent handles, and honestly, like my favorite attachment for doing face pulls. I haven't ever seen this thing at any other gym except for this one here. But that's it for this workout. I'll go through my full workouts for the rest of the week, at least for this first week, just to show you guys all my accessory work. Let me know what you want to see in future videos. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.